the stage will now be taken over by Madhavi Shankar, who is the co-founder and CEO at SpaceBasic Inc. And she'll be talking about selling to colleges, from reaching out to actually closing it. Ma'am?
So once the product was built, we went back and we started validating this product with about 5 to 6 customers. When I say customers, I mean universities and colleges. We soon realized this product was of no fit in the market at all. After understanding this, what we did was we're like, okay, we took a step back and we kind of understood that this market of SaaS-based products in India, in the crowded edtech space for startups, is really hard to sell. No one knows us, no one has heard of us, and most of all, colleges and universities are tired of people like us coming to them selling just another software. By default, we're automatically compartmentalized as an ERP system, regardless of whatever we're selling. So what happened here? We went ahead and we went and started validating this product. We went and kind of figured out that the market really is not about what we thought it was. Instead, it was something else. We validated it with our customers. This time, we wanted to solve a real problem that people would actually pay money for. So what is SpaceBasic and why am I here today? Well, SpaceBasic is a networking application that is used by universities, colleges, hostels, and all other stakeholders in this particular environment. So with SpaceBasic, not only do we give out a communication application, but what we also do is bring in partner companies. We just had a panel discussion about skills. The takeaway was skills. We bring skills to these students via this application as a value-added service, besides just communication. So with SpaceBasic, just being operational for about 1.5 years, we have gone ahead and we have enrolled 25,000 students. We're bootstrapped, we're B2B, and we have about 30 to 35 universities across pan-India. So what we kind of realized is what we were selling were vitamins. We actually had to sell painkillers. As human beings, we would, in a heartbeat, buy a painkiller. But how many of us would actually go out there and just buy a vitamin? Not many. So the key takeaway from this, or from our little experience that we had initially, was we need to build a product that solves a real problem. And that problem, will these colleges pay for it? So finally, we went back to the same 5 colleges who told us to never come back again, and we validated this. After we validated this, they were like, yeah, okay, and I've never sold before, I'm a product manager. And one of them said, hey, you know what? I'm your first customer, I've given you the feedback, now we have 4 other more customers interested in me, you should give this for free. I haven't sold, guys. I was like, okay, here you go. I did for an entire year, but I did convert them the next year to a fully paying customer. But that's the thing, we sold a painkiller. So the studies say that human beings in general go ahead and confine in patterns, which means they make decisions based on patterns, recognized patterns. So when we go out there and buy products, do we go and buy a product from a company we don't know of? Not really. Maybe after seeing reviews, maybe after reading recommendations and testimonials, and maybe asking a couple of our friends, then yeah, perhaps we might. But why do we expect colleges who have no idea who we are to go ahead and buy the product at the first go? We need to establish ourselves. So the easiest way that we figured out to do that was really to go ahead and get our friends and family and get their connection to help us reach out to these colleges or universities. The best part about working with colleges or universities is the fact that every one of your relatives or your friends know at least one point of contact, because I'm sure all of them have gone to college or school. So they will help you reach out. So that's how we broke into our first initial set of users. As an early stage startup co-founder, our worst nightmare is scaling a sales team. And I have both my sales heads in the audience today, but it's true. As founders, what we do is we passion sell. Our sales is driven by our passion to the product, but it's very hard to replicate that, amongst the people we hire and who we bring on board to the team. So what we do is we kind of try to figure out and see some of the traits that work for us. Another thing that I've realized is it's not a great idea to hire somebody for sales and teach them how to sell. It kind of beats the point. So, what I've seen work is really, for us, this is something I'm still figuring out, to be honest, but what I have seen work is, I'm going to just walk you through a couple of them. So when we have a sales team, okay, first of all, let's be honest. How many of us respond to telesales people nicely and cordially? Exactly. So what happens is, when we're in a good mood though, or when we're having a good day, we might entertain them for about 30 seconds perhaps, and still say no most of the time. So why are we expecting a different outcome when we are following the same pattern? Why? It's not going to work, right? So we really need to figure out what works for us. What is our pattern and momentum? At SpaceBasic, what we do is we reach the end user, in this case, students and wardens. So we reach out to them, we understand how they work and how they function, and then go to the principal and say, hey, by the way, this is what you do, and this is how we can do it better, right? So that's what we do. And you have a span of 30 seconds to gauge somebody's attention. So we better be prepared when we get that chance. Now, this is a good question. I ask myself this all the time. But is no really a no? I mean, it depends. So usually people say no is one, we have failed in explaining what we do very well. Two, they don't understand the product, or we're too early. Three, maybe they have something that does a few things of what we do, but necessarily they don't want to change. Change averse. Universities and colleges are change averse because they have a process in place. So what we've realized, and the biggest thing that we've realized is when people say no, or they say, okay, fine, come back to us with A, B, C, D, E, F features. Or we can't do A, B, C, D, F features. We're an early stage startup. There's only that much bandwidth we have. So it's very important for us to align our product roadmap with our sales goals. So, in fact, we have said no ourselves, and we've gone back a year later, and in January I closed 2 really huge colleges actually, who said no to us, or I said we'll get back to them with new features, now that it aligns with our product roadmap. So last month we did bring 2 on board. So no is really, we need to identify what or why is it no. There's always an underlying reason for that. Well, this is true, most of the cases. Well, there's a study that says, a customer, after you walk out of the meeting, remembers you 50% for 24 hours. After 24 hours, or another 24 hours, 100% they've forgotten you. So you really have a window of 48 hours after you've met with somebody to go back, get that next meeting, get that next call, get that next appointment with somebody else from the same team. You have a window, most optimistic window, in 48 hours. So we need to tend to act in a sense of urgency ourselves. Well, my takeaway really from this entire 1.5 year journey of selling or learning how to sell a product is that everybody can sell. We sell stories to our families. We sell our dreams to our friends and families. We inherit selling. It's in all of us. At SpaceBasic, what we do is we get our engineering team to go back and sell to their respective colleges, because they have that relationship already built in these engineering colleges. And we've seen that to be successful, by the way. Our engineering team barely even speaks to us, but they did go ahead and sell it to their college. So everybody can sell. And finally, why are we more tolerant when we are going, and when we are, somebody we like or somebody we know makes a mistake? It's because we have a relationship with them. We're okay to give them that leverage. Same way, selling is a one-time process, but building a relationship with our customer, with our college, is an ongoing process, and a very fruitful one, you will see. So our goal really is to build relationships and not to build client lists. And that's what we're trying to do every day. Thank you so much, guys.